Here's another question. This one is from Dan Kinkler, and it was actually to Daniel Malloy. Daniel Malloy was here with us, had to jump on a plane. But the question is, what are you doing to encourage more people to vote by passing laws that make it easier to vote? That's a great question, especially at a time when some of the other governors in the Republican Party are actually signing laws and passing laws. Never thought I'd see this, that try to discourage people from going out to vote, that are shrinking the time for early vote, that are making people jump through all sorts of hoops in order to register to vote. I know in our state we just had our first election with early vote, and we're looking to actually expand it and actually expand the numbers of places where people can go and vote early. Who else wants to chime in?
In North Carolina, we've had a very divisive legislative session over this issue. There's been a movement to not only clamp down on voting opportunity, to shorten the voting time. We have a very robust early voting program. We've done everything we can do to encourage 17-year-olds to register if they're going to be 18 by the election. And we've been forced time after time to fight on those issues with our Republican-led General Assembly. I don't understand in a country like America that has found democracy to be very, very important to try to fundamentally take away the most important privilege we have as Americans, and that is our right to vote. I vetoed the bill. My General Assembly has stood with me on that bill, and in North Carolina, if you are registered and you can vote in this state, we are going to figure out a way for you to get there and get there as early as you need to participate in democracy.
Well, I've vetoed for the same reason as you, Governor, and we have one of the highest voting turnouts in any state in the nation, and yet there are people in Minnesota who don't want that, who obviously want to drive down voter turnout and think this to their political advantage. As you said, it's fundamental to democracy. People have a right to vote. We ought to make it as easy as possible, not to add more barriers.
Martin, we've changed the name of the legislation that we vetoed to Voter Suppression Act. That's exactly what we call it.
Well, look, I want to associate myself with all of these comments. I think all of us believe that we as governors and we as Americans have to do what we can to expand voting, make it easier for people, not more complicated. And frankly, I think the folks who are pressing this need to be asked some sharp questions about what it is, what problem they say they're trying to address, and are not just accepting that at face value.